I'm going for hopefully a big fire.
I think based on the fact that a piston already went, I think you're really shaping up for that being a very high potential.
That's what we need.
Welcome to Tread Talk, the official podcast of Fury Tires, where rubber meets road and off-road. Coming up on this episode of Tread Talk, straight from SEMA 2023, host Jason Hempey sits down with industry OG Lacey Blair, entrepreneur, powder coater, shop owner, podcaster, and YouTube sensation. Stay right there. You don't want to miss this. Here is your host, Jason Hempey.
Welcome to this very special episode of Tread Talk. We are here with the one and only Lacey Blair.
What's up?
How's it
Hi.
going?
Good. How are you?
Very good.
Last day of SEMA.
Yes.
We're making it.
How,
We're surviving.
How much walking and talking have you done?
I honestly haven't done a ton of walking. This is probably only the second time I've been inside, and I haven't seen a damn thing. Well,
Oh,
I guess
really?
I've done just walking from place to place, but
Right.
not the typical, like, checking out the show kind of walking. But I've mostly spent a lot of time outside.
And so far, how do you, have you seen anything like really crazy that stood out?
I really haven't seen much of anything, to be honest. I've been
Right.
at the Burnyard a lot. That's always amazing.
It's hard to miss. It's just constantly going.
Yeah.
It's like this white noise in the back.
Yeah.
It's like full brightness. Yeah.
Yeah, so we've been over there at least every day at 3 o'clock
Right.
running the trucks, so seen some badass stuff there.
Yeah. It's I was talking about that with someone, and just, you know, you could walk by, let's say like 5 or 6 builds. You know,
Yeah.
like there's just so many parked. You're walking by, and sometimes you don't even stop to look, and you realize like, okay, these 6 trucks, it's probably like 2,000 hours of labor combined or more.
That's so true.
You know, like
yeah.
this is hours and hours.
Yeah.
And like, it's even kind of hard to wrap your head
And
around.
some of like the cars inside that they've been building for years.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah.
insane.
Like, I'm probably really undershooting. It's probably way,
Yeah.
way more than that. Yeah. And the money, obviously. We were
Yeah,
talking about that
crazy.
actually with someone too. Because you obviously have, how many you brought? 4,
Collectively, so I've got 3 of my personal, and then between like my shop and my boyfriend's shop, we have like 8 customers builds all together, right?
5? Plus your
5? Not 5. Oh, Cap's packing, counting back there. We brought 7. We've got like 8 customers builds, and then a lot of powder coating.
And I was talking to someone who they don't have their build here. They're just they're like a content creator as well, and we're just saying, if you have a truck that's big enough that you can't really obviously show truck, drive it across depending on where you live.
Right.
He was from Atlanta, I believe. So, you know, driving across country, first of all, you need like a dually, which is not cheap,
Yeah.
a trailer that can support then the trucks, you know, and when you start
It's
adding,
so expensive to get out here. Even
Oh,
just fuel
yeah.
costs.
Oh, especially now. It's,
Yeah. We had 3 trucks and trailers come
Oh,
in.
it's,
Yeah.
you know, people, it's one thing to bring one.
Yeah.
It's another thing to bring. That's why.
Right.
I think there's be some really good insight that we'll talk about after of
Yeah.
sort of the struggles and everything that's involved with being, you know, it's nice to see.
Definitely.
Obviously, we see the end result, and you
Right.
get here and you have all your trucks and all the builds are beautiful, and you know you get it. But there are some there's a lot of struggles to even just get here. You know.
Definitely.
So. But first, before we get too far, I'm assuming that probably everyone watching this knows who you are, but just in the
Maybe.
event they don't, tell us what you do.
Oh, okay.
You know.
It's always hard to talk about myself. I'm a content creator. I build custom trucks, do powder coating, all of that jazz. I have YouTube, TikTok, all the normal stuff. I have a podcast.
What's the YouTube channel?
LB Motorsports.
Right.
Is the YouTube. Yeah.
And YouTube
Yeah,
is
so
the
that's
same, I believe, same channel. I think it's
Or YouTube's LB Motorsports.
yeah, they both are.
Yeah.
Right. So you've been with Fury for
Yeah.
a pretty long time now. Since the beginning, I think.
Probably, like, yeah, I think the beginning to me.
I
It was like the
believe.
beginning of my kind of career also. And I think they were kind of just coming around too, like 2017, something like that.
So how long have you been doing like builds, like where you're putting to that level?
Probably 2017.
That's like
I think.
really
Yeah.
when it started.
Yeah.
So that's, I
To
mean,
that level. Yeah. How many years ago was that? Man, I don't even know.
it's like 6 years. Going
Yeah.
on 6 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are the the builds that you remember the most that you did with Fury? Which ones? And do you still have any of them?
That I remember the most. Probably the first one we brought to SEMA was a Scout, and it was on Furies. That was cool. Yeah, that was like our first SEMA.
And I'm assuming
So
you
that's
don't have
epic,
it.
you know.
Right. Well, I
We
mean,
don't have it anymore. No. Fortunately, yeah.
does it make you sad every time kind of when you look back or see
Yeah.
some of those or talk about them?
Yeah, because all of them are like my favorite in a way. You know, they all have their certain.
Well, that one will be nostalgic and kind of, you know, especially
Yeah.
being the kind of kicked off from there, and Fury sort of started there as well.
For sure.
So
Super
I
cool.
believe you even have, I think it's a story, or I can't remember, that you have like with Fury shirt, and it was like 77 million views or something.
Oh, yeah. It's a YouTube short.
Right, yes.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's crazy. Yeah, I'm like, people love the getting in the truck videos. Like big trucks, they're like, how's she gonna get in? And yeah, Omar's Wheels had like a massive truck at one of the truck shows, and I think we had hauled it to and from the show or something like that, and I just like climbed in it with the Fury shirt on, and yeah, it has a lot of views. 77 million, I think.
That's pretty wild.
That's
I gotta be
crazy,
honest. That's
yeah.
more than, you know, probably.
That's my most viewed video on anything, I guess. Yeah.
Well, I'd imagine in general, as
Yeah.
far as content, like 77 is really up there. You
Yeah.
know, you'll see like huge.
I wish that
music
was like
videos.
a full-length YouTube video, you know.
That would be nice.
Yeah, that would
See
be
if you can
nice.
extrapolate that. I think you could do a funny one, like a perspective from inside the truck.
Yeah.
Wearing a Fury shirt.
Falling down.
But it's like the movie Cliffhanger, where you're kind of like hanging on, trying to
Yeah.
get in. That'd be pretty good.
It's awesome.
So the Suburban, that was a big.
Yes.
So that's done. Did you
Yeah, we-
announce the winner?
Not yet. We don't know yet.
Ah, okay,
Which I'm
right.
kind of thankful, because that would be a lot going on right now in
Yes.
the middle of SEMA. So I'm
Right.
like, okay, I'm kind of glad we don't know yet. So hopefully next week, though.
Talk a little bit about because that's something you do. You've done that a few times, right?
Yeah, so this is the third that
Right.
we've done, and I'm hoping to make it kind of a regular thing. That's the
Oh, for sure.
goal, anyways.
So talk about that. Talk
Yeah.
about that whole side of what you do,
Yeah.
and in particular this.
So we do giveaways with merch sales, and this Suburban was actually my boyfriend's personal build. 1989 Cummins swapped Suburban.
Okay.
Lifted
it was
to
his.
the moon. Yeah, it was
Oh,
his.
right,
I
yes.
painted it, so I like half claim it.
Okay.
You know, that was my first paint
Perfect.
job actually, and it turned out really good.
It's beautiful. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
thank
Yeah,
you.
it's
I
very good.
appreciate it. So yeah, just kind of, but it was in mint condition before that paint job. Gotten a little mishap. It kind of almost fell off of a rollback. The rollback, this tow truck hit a tree.
Okay.
It was just hauling it for us because it didn't have drive shafts in it at the moment. So then I'm like, yeah, I could fix this, right? Never done it before, but it worked out good. One of my friends helped me, taught me how to paint with it. And so that's kind of sentimental to me, and I feel like to a lot of our followers too, just because they've seen him have it for like 4 years. They've seen the process of the
Right.
build, and then
Is he a little bit heartbroken?
he was, but now he's over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he has, he's on to the next build kind of thing.
I think that's kind of how it is. We'll just.
Yeah.
The nice thing though, I'll say, is when you do builds, sometimes like I've done them as well, and you don't get to document them very well. You know, they're kind of gone, and then you don't know where they
Yeah.
went, and you sell it to someone, and
Yeah.
you don't really get to see where it is anymore.
Yeah.
Luckily, with what you did, the content that you make, you have like an amazing way to kind of look back and remember it. Right?
Yes,
It's so
that's the
detailed.
good thing.
The builds, everything that was
Yeah,
involved with
for
it.
sure.
So that's
And thankfully, I'm hoping, like our last giveaway winner, she's a content creator too.
Right.
So she's got her own thing going, and so she posts it all the time. So I'm
Right.
really hoping that happens with the Suburban too. That would be awesome. Or at
Oh,
least,
I'm sure.
maybe not a content creator, which she's got a smaller platform, but I hope that I get to see it a lot.
I guess ultimately what you could do as part of the sort of whole process, that pending they're not extremely far away from you, it would be cool to do like
Go
a year
visit
later
them.
and go visit them.
Yeah.
Or even get, once you get, let's say 4 or 5 people that have
Have,
won.
like, a meetup.
Yeah, like kind of a meet just
Yeah.
for that at the shop. They
that
can
would be
make
really
their way.
cool.
That'd be like a
I've
nice
thought of
way.
something like that
Yeah.
for sure.
And that way you at
Yeah.
least kind of get to, relive the dream. a little
Yeah.
bit.
See
So
them again.
What's the, can you talk a little bit about the build on obviously there's a lot of,
On the Suburban? Yeah, for sure. So it's got a custom 20-inch lift. It's still leaf springs, but they're custom arched and everything from just a local place. 44-inch boggers. And then some custom 18, my brain is so fried today, I can't think of numbers.
Yeah.
18 by 16 by 18 something. I don't know. Like I said, I'm walking around and someone's like, what's the setup on your Jeep? Thankfully, it was the custom offsets guys. They know it's Furies and JTXs,
Right.
but I'm like, man, I can't think numbers right now. My brain is so fried.
it's especially when you have more than one build. And
Yes,
they're all
that's
different.
so true.
They're also not the same
Yeah.
platform. It's like everything is different.
Yeah.
Sizing, everything.
Yeah, SEMA week has my ADHD hurting. So
Funny you say that. You posted something earlier this week that I thought was Not something I really relate to because I don't get too, not really an introvert,
Yeah.
nor am I an extrovert. I'm sort
Yeah.
of like right in the middle. It doesn't really bother me, but I know I've like a few very close friends that are more like introverted.
Yeah,
And
that's me naturally.
that's
You
what
probably wouldn't know that.
No,
right?
but and I know how difficult it is. Especially, I was talking to another content creator, and he said, "Wow, I couldn't believe that people something that you've mentioned before, like people recognize me, and like
Yeah.
you don't think of it in that way,
Yeah.
because
It's crazy every time.
you didn't really. I mean, most people, especially, I think the more this is a good thing to say to people that want to get into content creation. Obviously, there's a goal of eventually maybe monetizing it, but doing something true to you that's not that the
Exactly.
goal is not really to be monetizing it
Right.
per se. It's just showing people it's something you're passionate about, something that you like. That's where it's just easy, it's natural.
sure.
But then unfortunately fortunately if you're someone that wasn't planning on being famous and
Yeah.
it gets like 77 million views, right?
Right.
When you become, that's what I said to him, I kind of coined the term the inadvertent celebrity.
Yeah.
You become
I
like
feel like
inadvertently a
that's-
celebrity.
That's a lot of social media people, I think.
Yes.
Like, we can talk to our phones, we can talk to a camera, but sometimes it's kind of hard to talk to people. And I love to talk to people.
Right.
Like, I will all day, like, I'll see, meet people, see people. I love it. It's just draining, if that makes sense. Like, it drains my battery more than it would, like, an extroverted person kind of thing.
It's just that you're kind of battling it.
Yeah.
There's an additional like
For sure.
effort required than
Definitely.
there is for someone that doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw you post that, and I know a few people, and they have similar scenarios where they work in a job that they have to be
Yeah.
social, and it's like extremely difficult for them.
For
So
sure.
I applaud you because no one would ever know.
Yeah,
But I'm
good.
sure you have
That
to go
makes me
outside
happy.
sometimes and be like,
Yes,
Take like a
yes. I
briefing.
can break. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
quiet. Yeah, at night, quiet, dark room. Catch up on my social media, edit. That's what I
Yeah.
like to do. Everyone's like,
That's
no
good.
Vegas lights for you. I think Frank had said that. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm sure you'll be, chasing the Vegas lights this week. I'm like, not me. No.
No, it's a lot. Vegas is if
Yeah.
you're.
Oh yeah,
It's
Vegas is
quite
a lot.
the shocker the first time that you get here and
Yeah.
you're not expecting that level of, I think the first time I landed it was at night and it was pretty late and I was
Yeah,
quite tired. It's like a 6-hour flight for
and
me.
everything's still
And
going.
it's just,
Everything's
like,
still awake.
blazing, and I'm like, oh my God. Like I got into the hotel and there's just so many things I kind of just never really thought about, and it was like full daytime. I'm like, where am I? What hour is it? You never know what time it is.
No.
You could basically never know what time it is.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So what's next?
Ooh, what's next?
What's coming up next? What do you foresee in the
What's
next year? Like from, let's say, now,
Oh.
next year SEMA. What do you see coming? Are there already plans in the works?
I don't think so. I want to do more giveaways for sure.
Right.
Might be. So I filmed a TV show at the beginning of this year. Possibly a second season of that.
Are you allowed to say the
Not
name?
really sure. No.
No. not
It's
yet.
on a streaming platform, the largest streaming platform. I can't really say what, but do with that what you will. Yeah.
Netflix.
I didn't say
Yeah,
anything. So yeah,
Anyway.
maybe season 2 of that. It should come out in May.
Okay.
So I'm excited to see what that brings.
Is
And
it
I
a fiction? Is it like a scripted?
It's
scripted-
no unscripted, so
Okay.
that was good for us because that whole strike went on.
Right.
So that's even why they're kind of pushing maybe soon a season 2.
Okay.
Because everyone is still not filming as far
Right,
as
right.
scripted goes. So that works out good for us.
What's the premise? What's
A car building show.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's a little different because I'm always trucks, 4x4s, side by sides.
Right.
So this was cars. There was
Oh,
a
cool.
4-wheel drive van though, an Econoline van. Oh, I don't even know if I can say that, but that was my favorite one
Really?
because I got to lift it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's,
So that was cool.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
That's actually.
Yeah.
We had someone that had
love
one of
those
our other
vans.
guests had a Honda Odyssey minivan that was bagged and slammed.
That's awesome.
So this is kind of just the opposite of that, but
Yeah.
also kind of comical.
Yeah, super cool.
But that's cool. So that's coming out when? Sorry. When?
It's supposed to be in May of 2024. Still not sure, but that's what I'm hearing now. We're still doing some voiceover work and all that stuff.
Right.
So
All the post production.
hopefully soon, yeah. But yeah, I don't even know what I'm doing next week, It's ever evolving. So I feel like when that comes out, that comes hopefully with more opportunities and stuff. So we'll see what's
I would
happening next
imagine,
year.
yeah.
I plan to be busier even than I was this year, next year it seems.
Do you want to focus more on that side of it? Let's say like movie, television, or like shows versus
I don't know
builds?
yet. I'm torn, I feel like, with that, because I really, really enjoy it. But I guess
Like, would you want to get into scripted, like movies and TV, like
maybe.
more?
Yeah, I just don't really want my own content to suffer, because I still like
Right.
to connect with my audience, just being myself 100%, so yeah. So
Yeah.
if I could find a good balance.
What's your current? How often do you typically post and do content?
Oh, well, during SEMA crunch, it's a little less.
Wow.
But I would
Understandably,
typically, I'd
but I
like
mean,
to do, a video on YouTube a week, but normally like once, I always do Instagram stories pretty much live all day. Like people, if I don't post an Instagram story, they're like, are you okay? Like,
So it's pretty much consistent.
yeah,
It's all the time.
consistent. And then Instagram every single day, TikTok almost every day.
I mean, realistically, for that type of content, even if you're on a set, or,
Yeah.
you could still easily do
Yeah,
like content.
and
So
that
I
was
don't-
hard. So my content did suffer a little bit when I was filming the show,
Right.
just because that was hard. You can't film the builds,
Right.
Can't really film the behind the scenes, but I tried to get creative with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
kind
that's
of let
it,
them know what we're doing without letting them know what we're doing.
But I guess ultimately, what because your boyfriend's also building and doing builds, like you could have it documented and then kind of
Yeah, true.
still
We're kind
still
of
use
trying
that.
to incorporate him into my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
For that reason. When I was in California filming the show and just completely disconnected from all that for like 6 months, I'm like,
How did his builds go?
they went good. I mean,
yeah.
we got everything done. So.
Did he dyno it? I never saw a video. Did he dyno that big?
For which one?
The one with the massive blower on it.
Oh, no. Oh, wait. Yes. Mine makes more horsepower than his, by the way.
Which one?
Yeah, my little D150.
Really?
It's so funny that everyone's always like, what? Because they think the blower equates power.
Well, I
'Cause it
just don't
looks
know
crazier.
what size engine. What's in that?
Yeah, I honestly don't know.
Oh, okay.
But
I have
his
to talk
engine
to him.
is a lot. Mine's just like a junkyard engine, but it's twin turbo. His is a full
That's the
Texas
difference.
speed motor.
Right.
But his is a lot rowdier than mine for burnouts. But mine does make more horsepower. Yeah, his made, I think, like 760. Mine made like 830, I think. Something like that, yeah. But, I mean, mine blew up out there and his didn't, so.
So really, you're making 0 horsepower.
Yeah, now I'm making 0. Well,
You've lost that battle.
so that happened, but, the gang threw my motor back together in the
Right.
pits out there. I melted a piston.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that video yesterday. I was like,
but
oof.
ouch. Threw it back together, and I'm going to just send rods to the moon the next time I drive it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
That's
very
the
well
plan.
might happen.
Yes,
that
it
might
will.
Be the case.
I'm going for, hopefully, a big fire.
I think based on the fact that a piston already went, I think you're really shaping up for
Yeah.
that being a very high potential
That's what we need.
event. Yeah, so. Well, at least going into it. You can't really be too disappointed if that happens.
Yeah.
At least you know it's going to happen. So
As long as it's a good show, I'll never be disappointed.
that's good content at your expense.
As long as someone's videoing it.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, that would be the
If
most
they're not,
disappointing.
then I'm pissed.
Yeah, exactly. So, in your journey through SEMA, have you had any of your inadvertent celebrity status
Oh, gosh.
fan interactions? Has there any been bizarre ones? Or
Celebrity and me in the same sentence is so wild.
Well, it's what it is. It's truth.
What was the question?
Have you? Has there been any like bizarre fan interactions? Like anyone?
No really bizarre ones, no. I mean, awesome ones. I always love
People
to meet
just yelling at you from.
Some, yeah. This is such a good place to like meet people.
Right.
I'm excited for today to get back outside because it's open to the public.
Right. Yes.
So I'll be out there a lot today just
I think
because.
today you might get even more.
Yeah, for sure. Today's
Probably.
the day for that. Everyone's like, oh, Friday's the chill day. I'm like, Friday's my busy day.
It's chill for manufacturers
Yeah.
and people inside.
Yeah.
Outside, not so
Yeah.
much.
So I like to go outside and see everybody that didn't get to be here the rest of the week.
So maybe I have
that's
to
gonna be
ask you
cool.
that next time because I assume today is going to be when you're
Maybe,
actually
yeah.
going to get the wild.
Might get a little wild.
Yeah. So let's talk about something that was there's I guess two events that led to this other event. But you built a truck for, I believe it was that for a competition? Was it Motor Trend? Or I forget who it was. Who did you?
Okay, so life happens so fast. I'm like, forget that this even happened
And that
maybe a
happened
month
not that long
ago.
ago.
Yeah, with Justin Keith, it was it was with Dodge. What was it called? My brain's moving so slow today.
Yeah. Because it was a truck build competition, right? So you were with him.
Roadkill Nights.
That's right, yeah.
Competition, yeah. So unfortunately, I didn't get to be a part of the build process because that's when I was filming that show. But they're like, we still want you to be a part of it. So basically, like, I flew into Missouri where he was building it, and kind of we wrapped it up like that day. Pretty much drove to Michigan. And
so
then
had you seen it leading up? Because I assume you were a part of that, and you kind of unfortunately weren't able to be part of the build.
I knew what it was going to be. I was stoked because it was the only truck in the competition. Well, 1994, 96, I don't remember, second-gen Dodge with the Hellcat motor in it.
Yeah, which is already wild in and of itself.
Wild. And then I'm like, this is the perfect crossover because my followers love trucks. They love second gens, of course. They might be a little sad that the Cummins is taken out of it, but it's the great
I'd say like
crossover.
a Hellcat is a pretty cool,
pretty cool thing to switch it out. And at least it's still all Mopar, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I thought that was a pretty cool crossover.
And it was built kind of as a drag truck, sort of.
Full-blown drag truck. I think it was 800 horse, just stock with the motor thrown in kind of thing. Yeah. That was wild.
So you got to drag race that. You actually got to drive it.
So I had never drag raced before. Right before that, my only other experience was my D150 that I have here in the burnout pit.
Which is my segue to that after this. Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Yes. So I took that down the track just one time, forgot to shift. Then it wasn't running right. But, like, I'm like, okay, this is the test. I'm already, like, wrapped into this contract, basically, now with Dodge. So if this scares the shit out of me, like, I'm in trouble, you know, with the Hellcat truck.
That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure. So
because typically, do you do any, like, fast driving for the most part, or not particularly?
You know, I get a lot of speeding tickets, but I've always wanted to.
No, but I mean, like, versus, like, that kind of, like, full
never,
all out.
Never driven down a track before this one time before the big time. So the one time, I'm, like, in tears. I'm like, wow, I love this. I wasn't even going that fast, but I'm like, this is an adrenaline rush.
So it's tears of joy.
Yes.
Thankfully.
Like, I've never felt, and I was so relieved because I'm like, I'm either going to love it or I'm going to hate it. And, I mean, now I'm like, my bank account might be hurting a little bit now that I love it. But
dry racing is not, it's not
the
cheap.
cheapest thing.
Yeah, everything breaks all the time.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm gonna beef that up, and then every time it fails, no matter what you do, something overheats, something breaks.
Every time.
It's pretty much, I'd say, like, it's much harder on trucks and cars than.
Yeah, and that's truly why I had never gotten into anything like that before. Like, I started with the lifted trucks. It's just cheaper. It's just cheaper to get into. You know what I mean?
And especially if you do it.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to say on a budget, but you do it properly, so nothing, it's safe and it's done well. And
you don't have to replace parts all the time.
But you could be, like, conservative. You could do, like, a 6-inch lift.
Right.
You know, you don't have to do wheels that are too wide, so you don't have to do fenders. That's depending on what look you're going for. But, you could do just, like,
kind of
a nicer, bigger tire, small lift, exhaust, something.
For sure.
And then you have a nice daily,
nice build, not so much wear and tear on everything, rather than like a drag truck, So. And you can daily it, like you said, it's like a 2-in-1 kind of thing.
Well, you don't want to daily drive a super cammed drag truck that can't.
Right. But so I only that one time, and then at Roadkill Nights, that was wild. And now I want a Hellcat.
You got the bug.
I want to drag race more.
Yeah, something about those supercharged.
It's wild.
They
sound
special.
so cool.
It is. It's like an addictive thing.
Yeah.
You don't, like, really know until you actually drive one, and then you're like, oh, damn it, this is going to be expensive. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So you think there'll be a Hellcat swap build in
one day? Yeah, for sure. I want to put it in something like that is completely crazy, maybe like a minivan. We talked about vans.
That. I would love that.
And then get the crazy YouTube content with that, and then take it out and probably put it in like a first gen, like little D150 or something.
Get like which was a monumental vehicle for Dodge. Get like a 91 or 89 or 91 Caravan.
Yes, that would be awesome. That's what I want, just something ridiculous.
It saved Dodge, so or Chrysler, but that'd be pretty funny. All tubbed out, cut on the inside, just like big, and somehow find a way to make it all-wheel drive, so it really hooks up.
That'd be awesome.
I think you just got your plan right there.
Yeah, that's
just start accumulating all your parts.
Yeah.
That's the best way. Truthfully, the best thing to do is just keep your eye out for, like, let's say when an engine comes up.
A stolen one on Facebook Marketplace.
Shh.
I didn't see anything, I'll take it. Just
a
little hot.
Yikes. But, just start getting your parts, and then it kind of just comes. Once you have the parts, then it's just obviously the hours.
Exactly.
But, that's the big issue with a lot of that. But Yeah, that would be really cool. I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
SEMA 2024,
Yes.
91 Caravan, Hellcat,
You never
all-wheel
know.
drive.
Burning tires in
Yeah.
the barnyard.
Hey, I will be very excited if that actually happens. That I guarantee you, if you want attention,
That's the way
that
to
will
do
get
it.
you a lot
Yeah.
of attention. That will get 77 million views
Yeah.
as well, yeah, for sure. Anyway, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you guys
Last
for
thing I
having
wanted
me.
to mention is you also started a podcast. I
Yes.
believe,
So I
officially.
had like a little makeshift podcast that I was doing. I only did like 10 episodes over the course of like 2 years.
Right.
So I just teamed up with a podcast producer. Same one you guys have.
Frank. Yes.
And
Shout
yeah,
out to Frank.
we launched that, I guess, last week. Last week, the middle of SEMA Crunch. I like tell all the boys, I'm like, come in here, we're doing this podcast. You know, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
They're like, this is not what we should be doing when we only have 4 days to build this truck. But we did it anyways.
Taking like 1 hour
Yeah.
just to do that
We
is
got this.
a lot.
We're
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah, 1 hour could be like the make or break.
Right? Honestly. And
It's
we were 2
stupid,
days
but-
late, technically.
It sounds
leaving.
stupid, but
That
literally 1 hour.
Literally.
Especially
It really does.
you guys transport your own vehicle,
Yeah.
so you're lucky in that
Yes.
respect. But you know, sometimes guys they have to
Things go wrong.
they have to haul
One
it.
of my tow rig broke down on the way here. We had to leave it in Texas and find some. So, you know,
that guy's
there's
showing
those
up at
things.
the hour he says he's showing up.
Yes.
So you don't have an hour. He's not sitting there for an hour. So
Yeah.
if something's broken or not screwed on,
Yeah.
it's not getting finished. So that
No.
1 hour podcast really, luckily
It
it's
can
not
make
the
a
case.
difference. But yeah, so we did that. We launched it. And then we filmed a couple here live at SEMA.
How do you
been cool.
like the podcast?
I love
yeah.
podcasting. I think it's fun.
How
yeah.
are how have the episodes been so far?
I think they've been good. The first one was like me, my boyfriend Zach, and then my mechanic Cap, just like shooting the shit, talking about what we had going on for SEMA
Right.
and kind of just everything, like, you know, the giveaways, how we felt about it. And I think people love that stuff the most. 'cause
Oh, for sure,
They
yeah.
just get to hear us give each other hell and
It's kind of just like it's not behind the scenes per se,
Yeah.
but it's
get to know you a little more,
you know
kind of thing.
it's because like obviously when you're doing the content, there's something you're trying to show. You can't really like talk as much
Right.
as you'd like. This is just sitting down.
Yeah.
Is it mostly truck focused or what are you
Yeah,
talking about?
kind of. So before when I did it, I would do like automotive focus, but then also like entrepreneur, business owner, like anything business. Like I really think it resonates with me anyways. I enjoy it. That's what
Right.
I like to do is just put out content that I enjoy. If I'm enjoying it,
You've
they'll
been
enjoy
very
it, right?
successful, so I think
Yeah.
people there is some wisdom that you can pass
Yeah.
and maybe so it'll help someone along the
Yeah,
way.
so I love to hear people's like entrepreneur journeys and things like that.
Right.
So yeah,
That's good.
Stuff like
That's great.
that. Yeah.
Well, definitely. Hopefully, everyone tunes into that as well.
Yeah.
Thanks for
hopefully.
being here.
Yes, thank you.
Once again, it's at LB Motorsports, right? Instagram.
Instagram
and
is
YouTube.
Lacey Blair _LBM,
Oh, right.
and then
YouTube.
YouTube LB Motorsports.
LB Motorsports, that's
Yep.
Well, thanks a lot.
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks everyone for watching. This is
guys.
Tread Talk. Thanks, Lacey. Bye.